Welcome to another episode of MT Vessels, where the main question of the day is,
what are you consuming? What are you consuming with your mouth, your eyes, your ears, your touch, your smell? What are you consuming with all of your senses?
Absolutely. I'm one of your hosts, Tom Osa.
And I'm Mike Kluger.
Yeah, and we are really happy to be on this new podcast. We've done a few over the past few weeks. Mike and I know each other for 5 to 7 years.
Something like that.
Music festivals. We always hop in to work on the Stony Music Fest. We got another one coming up on June 25th. And we're pretty psyched for this year. And we want to talk with you, the audience, the hundreds of thousands that are watching us across.
There's at least 53. I think I'm up to 53 on my YouTube.
I saw we got some likes and they were genuine,
Yeah.
You know, I've seen a few that they just, we made 10,000 views in 43 minutes. And come on.
We would like to get there.
You
help us out when you see the video. Tell your friends.
Yeah. So
now, hold on.
Yes.
I made a promise from our last week's episode. I told you I would research the origin of tomatoes. So
that's right.
I told Tom that tomatoes did not come from Italy, and that is true. They are not from Europe.
Ding, ding, ding.
I have in front of me that a wild species originated in the Andes Mountains of South America, but is most probably domesticated to the tomato that we know from pre-Azteca Mexico. So tomatoes are from Mexico. So
do I also see Ecuador on there?
Yes. So that's the Andes Mountains. Interesting,
because my aunt is Ecuadorian and I am half Colombian. Actually, when I talk about
so
my heritage.
You have the tomatoes from the South American side. That makes sense.
So
you
the Colombians, baby,
you
woo-hoo!
just were on the wrong side of your body when you were enjoying your tomatoes. You thought it was the Italian part, but it was really your South American side.
I gotta tell you, I'm really psyched about this because now it's not only that I'm half Italian, half Colombian, but also an inventor of tomatoes.
Yes, discoverer of. And it also goes on to say when the Italians got it, they called it the golden apple, which tells us that originally tomatoes were yellow.
Aha. It's a nice little factoid in there.
Now, I happen to be growing purple Cherokee tomatoes this year, but we'll talk about that on another show.
Interesting. Well, sounds like you've been doing some research. I don't know if you were doing this during the show last night because, when we were playing, my thought was not just on tomatoes, but also the vibe that was going on in the room. I wanted the audience to consume the vibe that we were putting out there, and that was back to the really good quality music.
So why don't we tell our viewers, Tommy played at Defiant Brewery, which is the oldest and largest, well, I think it is now the second largest brewery in Rockland County. Definitely the oldest. And they make excellent beer. And Tommy and his band played Defiant yesterday. Tell us a little bit about the show.
I gotta tell you, it was different. I didn't play my best. Full disclosure, and I know when I play good and I don't play good. I'm a late bloomer when it comes to playing on the drums. I started when I was 26 years old, and I know my limitations. I play pretty good, but if I go overboard, try to do too much, then that's where I fail. So I did a little too much, but you know what? We all played like professionals, which was good. Actually, at one point, I had a playlist of Irish songs that we were going to do during the break, and the music started blaring right while I'm jacking into the PA system, and I take the phone. I was like, "Oh, mother!" So it was that part. Overall, it went good. The interesting thing is that it wasn't all just about Irish songs, which was obviously St. Patrick's Day and everything, but there's a widely diverse history about St. Patrick's Day that also comes into play. I don't know, anything St. Patrick's Day history-wise or things like that?
I know there is a lot of mystique and myth going around it. Something about him driving snakes out of Ireland. Something about him hunting down witches with under the guisement of animus and snakes.
Like Abraham Lincoln, vampire hunter?
Maybe. I don't know enough about it. It's interesting, though, because St. Patty's Day was not the only holiday this week. Purim was this week.
Feast of Purim,
Jewish.
Yep. 3.14, right?
Pi Day, for us nerds who love numbers. And Dr. Chuck Rocca, if you're out there listening, that was for you too. Pi Day was Monday, and the Ides of March
Was
was
Tuesday, including my
So,
mom's birthday.
and it's interesting to live in this place and grow up in a place where you get to celebrate all of the holidays. My children are being raised Jewish, but they celebrate all of the folks you Italian folks celebrate. They go over to their caretakers and do some of that.
Mhm.
They there's also some Chinese influence, so they celebrate the Chinese New Year, and it's really this open cultural exposure
Yeah.
to all of these religions. And the cool part about it is you get to see what's the same about all the religions, right?
That's what binds us, yeah.
Right, because for the most part, it's always talking about be a good person, be nice to the other people, and be nice to yourself.
Yeah.
So, with all of the bad things that are going around in this world, we can find things to celebrate for good and positive reasons, like numbers, or the fact that Esther survived the assassination of Haman. Ooh, that's my children would do.
You got to expand on that because I missed that.
So
Oh, you mean
the story of Esther, which is a whole Megillah,
Right.
which is a joke for my Jewish friends out there.
That's when the Persians brought the Israelites into Persia, and Esther became the queen of.
Correct.
Okay.
And she kept telling a longer and longer story and never finishing the story, so he would keep her around longer.
Wonder why.
So, and it's a very complicated story, but her main adversary was a guy named Haman who tried to get her executed, and she pulled a switcheroo. The Jews won, so we feast.
And not to spoil the story, but Haman hung around a little bit too long. That's what happened.
Well, he did get hung. That's true.
Not the way that you're thinking.
Hey,
Stop.
no bad ways.
Gutter,
No bad ways.
gutter. Bad, bad, bad.
All right.
Bad.
Back to religious observances. There are many multicultures, and one of them is the Irish culture of St. Paddy's Day. And one of the things that the folks of the Irish like is a good stout. Now,
Friggin' A.
one of our viewers.
And why do you bring that up?
One of our viewers on the off season, on the off week, said, "Well, you picked on Tommy about drinking bad beer. Why don't you give him a good beer to try?"
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I have here, Tommy. Can you hand me one of those bottles right over there? Just
Why,
one.
as a matter of fact, I can.
So, right under here, we have a beer that I made myself.
Ooh,
And
all right.
I would rename it, but I think a Mad Russian is still an appropriate name for a beer.
Giving me a Mad Russian?
It is a Russian Imperial Stout.
Wow.
Now, the Russian Imperial Stout was created because Catherine the Great came to England and she tried this beer and she thought the English stout was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and she wanted to send it and feed it to her troops.
This is going to sound so weird, but I could listen to you for hours.
So, like with other Imperials, and we will get into why IPAs suck, I promise you, all of you who've seen on my other YouTube sites, I am going to get to why IPAs suck, but we are talking about the Russian Imperial Stout.
Dan Rapatsky, take note.
So, most beer spoils in the journey it takes on tall ship, as was when Catherine the Great was visiting London. So, they had to create a new beer out of the stout that would make the journey to St. Petersburg. And what we have is a Russian Imperial Stout. Why don't you hold it up to the camera to show how dark it is? It is a black beer.
I can figure out. Yeah, that's a
cannot
black
see through
beer,
it.
man. Wow. Let's get some blue bubbles.
Take some nose. Tell me what you smell, Tommy.
Take some nose. That does smell rich.
What is it? What flavors do you smell?
I want to say oak.
Okay.
I don't know about a cherry, but maybe like a licorice flavor.
Interesting.
Could be wrong. Not a lot of hops.
Now, hops as a flavor tends to die out. And again, we're not going to get into the whole IPA thing yet. We'll get to that on a further show. But this will have a very low hop profile, if at any. But that's the way stouts are supposed to be. Have a taste. Tell me what you think.
Now, do I like swirl this around? And I don't know. I don't know shit about beers.
Swirling it, what you're doing is getting rid of some of the carbonation and releasing some of the smell. So smell it now that you've swirled it and see if your smell has changed.
I can't tell.
Well, then take a sip.
I suck. All right, I'm just gonna
suck the beer in.
I'm gonna try it. Yeah, let's see how it goes.
That's beer you can.
Oh, that's really good. I genuinely mean that. That's really good.
So, now that you've tasted it, any different flavors, anything that you want to share that you've tasted? This is your first time tasting it.
Yeah, I'm going to go with licorice. I think licorice is the flavor. It reminds me of, and, you know, just as a full disclosure, I don't just drink Bud Platinum. I know. That's going to be a recurring joke on this freaking thing. But there's this one beer that I like very much. I forget if I mentioned on the show. It's called Three Philosophers by Omegang.
Yes, I've been up to Omegang many times. And here's Omegang's hat over here. We're a supporter. Very big supporter. Omegang, hi.
Hello, Omegang.
Come sponsor our show.
Oh, there's that too. I got another sponsorship to do. Okay.
There we go.
All right, understood. But yeah, like there was this one time where I got a bottle of Omegang and I went to, I was watching Star Trek: The Next Generation. I sat down, I opened up the Omegang, and I started drinking. And
do you remember the episode?
5 minutes later, I woke up the next day.
This is a very strong beer. It sits at almost 15% alcohol, which is why we're sharing one.
Yeah, it's a good move. Yeah.
So usually I tell people to find your comfy chair, fill up your favorite mug, and don't plan on getting up. Really good beer to drink in the nice cold of the winter. Catherine Great, again, wanted the Russian Imperial Stout to feed to her soldiers because it was kind of two birds with one stone. Food and booze all at once.
Sounds like a good plan.
It was.
Oh, my goodness.
We got this delicious beer. So
that's
now we can say that Tommy has consumed good beer made by yours truly.
And it's been shown. So let this be documented. So it's been drunk or drinking or drinking. So let it be.
I would like to add, you may have said licorice. I don't taste licorice. I taste very, very dark chocolate, like 80 to 90% dark bitter chocolate.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. I think maybe I was trying to relate it to the previous experience I had with good quality beer. Okay. So maybe that was it. I know for a fact that I did not liken it to Bud Light Platinum.
That's because I could probably no, I don't even think I'd clean my gear with Bud Light Platinum.
Oh, man.
No, it's not even worth it for that.
Yeah, man.
There are many arguments in my brewing circle that would say whether Bud is actually sanitized enough that you can use it to clean. Not my bag, baby.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, man. Holy shit.
Well, when it comes to beer.
Yeah, you mean some business.
I do mean some business.
Speaking of some other business, while Mike is consuming his beer over there, did you know that the Stony Music Fest, our 8th annual one, is going to be on Saturday, June 25th.
Was that Saturday, June 25th?
All day at Riverfront Park in Stony Point. And we're looking forward to a great show. We already have 4 acts. By the way, I contacted Electric Beef this week.
Awesome. My dear friend, since we were 8 years old.
Yeah. And they have an amazing band. I mean, if you do a little YouTube search, amazing band. So Frank Ocasio Brother Band's coming back.
Oh, they're so amazing.
Lords of the Sun with Danny Castro.
The fattest skinny on the drums.
Yep, and it's going to be a great day. Mike is going to be running the board. Oh, by the way, I got to talk with you about the PA system.
We'll figure that out.
But yeah, and also proceeds go to Habitat for Humanity Rockland as well as the performing artists. So tickets will be available soon. We'll announce it on and off the show, and yeah.
So and maybe I'll go live on the soundboard so they can just see me enjoying Stony Music Fest, and they can be jealous that they're not there.
I will be sitting right next to you for much of the day, unless I'm running around.
Maybe we'll do a couple of these in the middle of Stony Music Fest.
That would be pretty chill.
All right,
I like that.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. So, and we're always like audience, like what are they consuming today?
Well, I would like to. I would like them to go on my YouTube channel and tell us, what are they consuming? Share with us. Well, and you know what? What have you consumed since the last show, other than this tasty beer?
This
which
tasty
you're
beer.
consuming on this show.
It's really good. Thank goodness I have Uber on my phone. No, I'm not. You know, I'll be okay after the. Well, I don't know. I might
He
15
might
minutes later.
He
you're
might
like,
need a nap.
Blah!
He might need a nap.
Blah!
You know what? If you tune in next week, I will let you know if he needs a nap after we get off camera.
All right, so you see how we're setting this up. Goofball and obviously more expert person at this stuff. So
I know what I know.
Yep.
What's the saying from Game of Thrones? I drink and I know things.
Yeah.
I consume and I know things.
Yep.
And I know things because I consume.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you know I was once in the midst of a little person convention?
Really, I met Peter Dinklage. Speaking of,
Yeah, and he was the guest speaker at
was
the
he?
convention. Yeah, it was the Hilton in where is it? The one not the Hilton, the Woodcliff Lakes. Yeah, Woodcliff Lakes Hilton.
Okay.
And I was visiting my girlfriend at the time, and she was working there as the event manager.
Oh.
And I was heading out, and she's like, "Well, by the way, there's a convention going on." And I walked into the lobby, and it was a sea of networking in front of me.
That's awesome.
It was pretty awesome, and I got to tell you, I mean, without mincing words, obviously is a little bit of like a shock value there. But and in all seriousness, everybody was like so cool to talk with. I'm like, gabbing with them. We're sitting and we're just BSing about stuff. They did not necessarily like the reference in Wolf of Wall Street, if you know what I'm talking about.
I'm not familiar, but I'm sure our audience members do, and maybe they should put a comment in the comment section.
There was a tossing.
Oh, I see.
There was a tossing, but
I see.
they weren't exact. But hey, and film and everything. Yeah.
Everyone, there's a spot for everybody in this world. Now, which also brings me, it's a good segue into a phrase I hold near and dear to my heart. I might have created it. I might have discovered it from somebody else. I can't tell you anymore. So I'm going to quote myself, or maybe I'm quoting somebody else.
Hit it.
If every culture brought their best food forward, we'd be too full to fight. So, figure out what you cook best. Figure out what all your friends cook best. Have a cook-off. Get full. Be lazy. Don't fight with anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Build bigger tables, not bigger fences.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's what I got to say about that subject.
That sounds like, the showstopper, I think.
Well, I didn't really hear about Defiant and your band. We kept getting off topic.
Oh, okay.
Tell me
all
about
right.
the show.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we got
I didn't
time
get
to
a
talk.
chance to see.
Yeah. Well, all right. Here's the thing. All right, and I'm gonna go a little bit like one layer deeper on this. We have some sound issues in the band. All right, and it's not anyone's fault. But here's a little
Are you
background.
complaining or explaining?
No, I'm explaining.
Okay.
I have hearing problems.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never revealed that to anyone except to my close friends, close band members, and my fiance.
Okay.
Not even my sister and my mom, as I
Like
think about it.
damage or like you
Damage.
just can't hear stuff?
Damage.
So they make
Straight up
very
damage.
special. So another PSA. I have worked as a stagehand for over 30 years, and I have done sound, I've done lights, I've done all of it. The best sound guys who make all the money have special earplugs, so they can still do their job. And what these earplugs do is, instead of it blocking some of the sound, it compresses the sound. And it's this weird design of
Is this different from in-ear monitors? It's a different thing.
an in-ear monitor is putting a speaker directly in your ear.
Yes.
Not helpful.
Okay.
What this is an earplug that is reducing the volume of sound that is coming into your ear, but it is not changing the frequency or amplitude, I think.
Okay.
They're
'Cause I'm
expensive.
gonna- yeah, well,
they're
of course,
expensive
yeah.
because you're getting them molded to you, like if you were getting yourself teeth or whatever that kind of thing. Because the idea is to block all of the sound other than through these little funnels to reduce the sound without the sound quality being overly reduced.
That's the sort of thing I need, because it's either the upper register or the lower register of the speaker or the in-ear monitor. is what I'm missing. Now, there's a few things going on. Our guitarist, lead singer, and one of my closest friends, Dan, he bought a kick-ass fucking PA system. I mean, literally, like the PA is inside this unit that looks like it's from the Ghostbusters movie.
Okay.
The whole thing.
Cool.
Right?
I can't wait to check it out.
Yeah. Well, he might not be available. That's why I want to talk to. But anyway, so so what happens, and also so we have monitors, and the monitor is the thing that faces typically the musicians, so that they can hear all the sound. So what happens is I've been putting Heroes, which is like a special, well, a low end but special hearing reducer, because basically what happens is I have tinnitus from playing for like literally 20 years.
So young people,
yeah,
take care of your ears now.
Don't consume at the highest volume.
No, it hurts, and later on you're gonna be like, what, and there's no getting it back. There's no getting it back. Take care of your ears and your teeth now.
Let me tell you something. If I lost my hearing,
you'd be a very grumpy Tommy.
Yeah, and also a dark Tommy. You know, and I don't know how to put it, but music is like life to me. So,
well, because music is a way you consume.
Yeah,
vibrations.
Yeah, exactly.
You're trying to maintain a positive magnetic field, and that has vibrations to it. And the way you do that is by bringing the music that you like.
Yeah.
And that kind of sets you in there, right?
Yep.
So if you lost your hearing, no more music.
It would suck. It would suck. And there's this great movie on Amazon, and it's called The Sound of Metal. And it's about a metal drummer that loses his hearing.
Metal?
Yeah. Well, you know.
Is it both?
It's both.
He's a metal drummer?
He's a metal drummer.
So he's playing metal on metal drums?
Well, no, but...
Oh. Because that would have been really cool. If he played metal... Dude, what do y'all think, right? I want to see a metal drummer playing a steel drum.
Yeah.
Because what's more metal than playing on a metal drum?
I mean, it's not a bad idea. I mean, the theory is that Saint Anger was played on kitchen drums. It's my favorite album off of Metallica. I know.
Okay.
But no, but just, you know, long story short, and I go into diatribes. I apologize.
Yeah, because we still didn't get onto your show yesterday. We went completely off on how you have lost your hearing, and then I did a little thing. So, tell me about yesterday, because we had to postpone our show. Man. We had to postpone our show 24 hours so you could go play this awesome
show.
So
thanks for because we want to do this like every Thursday. But thanks for doing that. But yeah, so it was great. I mean, we had a great time in the audience.
Tell me about the set. What did you play?
Oh my goodness, I actually have that right here. Was it Pete sent this to me? Let me just go look for it. One moment, please. Maybe you can fill it in while you're doing that.
Let's see.
It's worth it.
Defiant. Defiant is one of the oldest breweries, as I have mentioned. And obviously they have live music there right by the Pearl River train station. My favorite beer from them is one called Little Thumper. It is, I forget what style of beer it is. But for many years they didn't make Little Thumper, and I was very sad.
Oh.
And then they brought it back, and I was happy, and I was very surprised when my friend was like, "Hey, I got a growler of this," because at Defiant you could walk up with jugs such as this one and say, "Fill her up," and they did. So you have us a set list. Tell us.
And you mentioned Southbound, right? Southbound, the train station bar right there?
That's the one around the corner.
Yeah.
I think they're the newest brewery.
It's a really cool place. You got to check it out. So Stuck in the Middle with You, I saw her standing there by the Beatles, Blister in the Sun, Last Train to Clarksville, Rock This Town by the Brian Setzer Orchestra and the Stray Cats, My Hero by the Foo Fighters. Going into set 2, we did Shine, The Middle, Lump.
It's a good variety of songs there. Now, what one was your favorite to play, and which one's your favorite one to enjoy? Okay,
so for you, the consumer audience, I want you to get into this vibe for a minute. Imagine listening to a dark, dark song. Okay, and we talk about that. You know, it requires a bit of vulnerability.
Give us an example.
Yeah.
Dark song.
Paint It Black.
Okay. Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones. Okay. So, and we extend out the end, so we go, And I'm not the lead singer, just but the point is like we make it really, really dark.
Okay.
Next song was the Bee Gees, "Staying Alive."
Nice.
Staying alive.
Because Tommy will not let disco die.
Heck no, but that was my favorite transition song.
Cool.
The one that I enjoyed playing the most, and we had an off night, like I said, and it's had sound issues. We played like professionals. Everybody was clapping, enjoying. There was a few ladies, and thank you to my former, not former. What the fuck am I saying? Jeez. All right. Thank you to my lovely fiance.
Wow.
Bride to be.
That would have went to a very dark place.
Because I was married. No. You know why? Not married. Jeez, I'm really fucking this up.
Hey, guess what?
No.
Hold on, wait. Stop.
Gotta be vulnerable.
Hold on, wait.
All right, yeah.
This is what happens
The
when
beer.
you drink
It's the
Russian
beer.
Imperial Stout. This is what makes you a mad Russian, because he's probably going to have to take a nap.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have to take a medic after I explain this,
All right,
but
so
let me.
In my mystical spiritual thing, we're going to do something called the 3-breath meditation.
All right.
So Tommy,
But I should probably
hold on.
explain beforehand.
hold on.
because
This
I
way,
said-
this way you can explain it to us better.
Okay.
Close your eyes.
All right.
Sit up straight. Take
Ow.
3 deep breaths from your belly button. And after your 3rd breath, I want you to think really clearly about what you're trying to say to me. Because the beer has gotten all of your words all jumbled up. Now you have to start all over again, Tommy.
All right. This is going to be a great show. I can
Calm
tell.
and centered.
Calm and centered. All right.
Everybody do it with him. Come on, class. Get Tommy grounded. Close your eyes. 3 deep breaths. All the way from the bottom. Get yourself focused. You're about to say something very important to me. I have no idea what it was. All right, class. He's had his 3 breaths. Do you think he's ready? All right, Tommy. Take it.
Please write in the comments if you know if I'm ready or not. All right, so here's the deal, okay? So about, I'd say halfway through, we started playing dance tunes. Not just Staying Alive, but we played a whole bunch of things, all right?
2 more
My
examples.
fiance, not
Your finance.
former.
Your
not,
finance.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Your
Beautiful,
fiance,
yeah.
and I will remind her
She's
when you're doing
perfect.
something dumb that she said yes.
Okay, yes, exactly, Okay. And she knows I work for her because, she deserves to be worked for.
So, your fiance said what?
Was shaking her ass, dancing, and also there was other women that were dancing. It was like this whole dance troupe.
But you weren't looking at them.
Never. We do not look at other women.
Anyway.
Ever. All
Your-
right?
your
And if
fiance-
we do, it's by accident. All right? And that's the extent of it. But here's the thing. It's like, we like overall, we like the fact that people are dancing and everything. It's a nice vibe. So when the ladies got up and danced, it was cool. It was like, and, we're looking around. And I was like, all right, this is a pretty good atmosphere. And that was it. So, but I definitely liked the whole dance vibe going on. It was pretty cool.
So, the thing that to bring it on back to my 2 initial questions, the one that you like to listen to the most was the dark Rolling Stones Into the Lively Bee Gees.
Yes.
And the thing that you most like to perform were the dance tunes because everybody was shaking their thing.
They were shaking their thing. That is exactly the
Shaking their
vernacular
thing,
that I was looking for.
Getting their B-52 vibe on, however you want to put it.
Yes. Now, let me explain the other comment that should be perfectly and clearly delineated right now. And my fiance knows this, is that I was engaged about 15, 16 years ago to a lawyer. The relationship didn't work out, and, we teetered
Fortunate for
along.
your current fiance.
Yes, exactly. So the thing is that, that's when I said the thing that really flustered me was like, should I explain that my fiance now is getting up and dancing?
Sometimes
and then I was like,
you explain too much.
Yeah,
Sometimes you explain too much. Smile, drink your beer, Tommy.
This is a mess
Smile,
up here. I'm pointing
drink
at
your
my
beer.
brain. And I said on the last show,
He
I
doesn't
looked
listen.
at Mike deep in his eyes and I said, help me.
You must listen with the ears and drink the beer with the mouth. See, isn't it much better? Beer's always better. So, we're sitting here at about 30 minutes now. 10 minutes more longer than we're making our show a little longer. We had a little bit more to say. Is there anything else that we needed to add?
That's a good question.
I think we covered all the things that we were trying to discuss. The comments would really help us drive our show because we are willing to talk about whatever you want to ask us. If not, I'm just going to start making stuff up, or you're going to have to listen to him babble. So,
but it's always going to be about the idea of what are you consuming, you know? So we're open to guests hopping on. You know, obviously you could tell we got a good rapport going, but let's expand the rapport. Tell us what you're consuming.
Tell us what you want. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you're consuming. We'll talk about it on the air. If you have any requests, I'll see if I can get Tom to do anything else stupid, because he seems to be open to that kind of thing.
I figure,
he drank whatever I gave him. There's a sorority in Potsdam where their first rule is don't ever drink anything Mike Kluger gives you. It's true.
Well, I mean, look, there's a trust factor here. If you see an obituary next week, you know
Nobody's
what happened.
died here.
Yeah.
It's not us.
But in all seriousness, you know, and we, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we've known each other for 5 to 7 years. So this is like a build-up of all.
One of these days, we'll actually sit down and figure out exactly how long we've known each other, so we don't have to say that whole 5 to 7. Maybe that should be our research project for this week. I had tomatoes last week, so this one is Mike and Tommy are going to find out exactly how long they have known each other.
Point.
And on that note, everybody have a great night. Have a great weekend. Consume great things. Don't do that, because that's consuming pain.
Yeah, we don't want to consume pain.
Much. We'll talk about kinks on another show.
Yeah.
Everybody, have a great night.
It's a great band.